Welcome to this explainer. Now, for the last couple of years, I think we've all been completely mesmerized by the visible side of artificial intelligence, right? The chatbots we talk to, the crazy images we generate. But while we've been totally distracted by those conversational interfaces, there is a massive, hidden neural network of intelligence being actively built all around us. We are rapidly transitioning from those visible chatbots into what experts are calling the invisible agentic economy. It's an absolutely fundamental shift in how the world operates, and by the end of this, you are going to see the digital world in a completely different way. To really grasp the scale of what we're talking about here, consider this visionary concept from NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang. He describes this shift as a new layer of computing that will literally cocoon the Earth and generate intelligence all the time. Just think about that for a second. We aren't just talking about a cool new software app you install on your phone. We are talking about a massive, planetary-scale infrastructure of pure intelligence. It's an invisible economy that literally never sleeps. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for mapping out these glowing digital nodes of information. 1. The third planetary cocoon. 2. Rise of the AI agents. 3. The invisible agentic economy. 4. Your personal data vault. And finally, 5. The AI Javon's paradox. Section 1. The third planetarian cocoon. Wiring the globe. To really understand this invisible intelligence grid, we have to see it not as just a software update, but as the natural next step in human infrastructure. Think about it like this. 300 years ago, humanity started cocooning the Earth with power. We took the Siemens dynamo, converted motion into electrons, and built the global energy grid. Then, fast forward to the 1990s, we built a second cocoon, the communications grid, or the internet, routing data across the globe. Today, in the 2020s, we're actively deploying a third cocoon. We are taking electrons, feeding them into massive AI factory servers, and pumping out pure intelligence. It is an entirely new global grid. Section 2. Rise of the AI agents, from chat to action. So what is actually traveling across this new intelligence grid? Well, there's a massive distinction to make here. Generative AI, which is what burst onto the scene a couple of years ago, is amazing at conversation. It can write a funny poem about booking a flight. But agentic AI, that is a massive leap forward. It actually reasons step by step to go to the airline's website, navigate the calendar, and actively book that flight for you. So the crucial point is, they don't just tell you how to use a browser or a spreadsheet, they natively use the browser and the spreadsheet on your behalf. They execute the work. And look, this isn't science fiction. We actually have hard enterprise telemetry data from the 2026 Sovereign Tech Audit proving these agents are already generating massive, measurable productivity gains. Knowledge workers are saving 6.4 hours a week just by offloading routine cognitive tasks. That's almost a whole workday. Companies are seeing payback periods of just 4 to 9 months. Now, actually, it's not totally flawless yet. There's a 41% year one ROI hit rate, which means how you implement it definitely matters. But the floor for productivity is just incredibly high. These digital employees are doing real work right now. Section 3. The invisible agentic economic, a market of machines. Now, what's really interesting here is the sheer scale. 100 billion. Jensen Huang projects that the internet, which currently serves a few billion humans, will soon host over 100 billion AI agents. These agents are going to be working around the clock, representing you, your company, your car, your software. It's essentially flooding the digital world with autonomous digital workers. If you visualize this, it really looks like a glowing neural network map spanning the entire globe. In this invisible economy, humans aren't even the primary actors anymore. It's entirely characterized by agent-to-agent communication. These machines are constantly trading machine-readable packets of information, tokens, firing API calls back and forth across networks at light speed. It's like billions of digital handshakes happening every second. And importantly, they're harvesting every single piece of digitized data available to train and push toward artificial general intelligence, or AGI. It is a bustling market operating completely under the surface of our screens. And the financial scale of this neural network is breathtaking. Research forecasts that the global agentic AI market size is projected to rocket from roughly $8 billion in 2025 to a massive $199 billion by 2034. That is huge. This unseen economy of machines trading information is rapidly becoming one of the most valuable sectors on the entire planet. Section 4. Your personal data vault, navigating the nodes. Let's zoom in from that macro planetary level down to the micro. How do you, as an individual, actually plug into this vast global machine? Well, you plug in through something called a vault. This acts as your permanent memory layer. First, you digitize and capture everything: your files, notes, communications, the whole shebang. Next, all of this is securely stored in a persistent database that literally never forgets. Finally, your vault connects to the wider agentic economy via those APIs we talked about. This gives your personal AI agents total context about your life so they can autonomously execute highly personalized tasks for you. And the best part, you don't have to constantly re-explain who you are or what you need every single time. And this leads us to a really massive realization. The biggest marketplace on Earth in the future, it won't just be for physical human assets or traditional software. It's going to be for the digitized data that AI desperately needs to consume to get smarter. Every interaction, every process, every unique piece of knowledge stored in your vault or a company's vault becomes a highly valuable node of information. Agents will constantly be navigating these nodes, meaning individuals will actually be able to navigate and monetize their own unique data in this invisible marketplace. Section 5. The AI Jevons Paradox, the rebound effect. Okay, so let's zoom back out to address the massive physical and economic consequences of all this unlimited digital demand. To understand where this is heading, we have to look at the Jevons paradox. This is an economic principle originally observed with coal way back in the 1800s. It basically states that making a resource more efficient to use doesn't decrease demand for it. It actually increases the total consumption of that resource. So because AI is dropping the cost of cognitive work down to fractions of a cent, we aren't going to use less compute. No way. We're going to use exponentially more. So let me ask you this directly. Will cheaper AI actually reduce human workloads? The initial thought is yes, right? If an AI does my work, I get to work less. But the Jevons paradox tells us the exact opposite is going to happen. Cheaper intelligence actually expands the scope of what's economically viable. Think about it. If you can suddenly afford to translate your marketing into 50 languages instead of just 2, you're absolutely going to do it. This creates entirely new demands for human judgment to manage, audit, and direct this massive surge in AI output. Why is that? It's because unlike physical resources, which have hard limits, the cognitive economy has basically no natural ceiling. There is an infinite, unlimited demand for problem solving, personalized content, and deep analysis. Because we want infinite intelligence, this boom is creating a massive, real-world bottleneck in physical energy and compute power. We literally cannot build data centers fast enough to feed this invisible economy. And this brilliantly illustrates how we are trying to solve these thermodynamic constraints. We're innovating at lightning speed. We're using software techniques like BitDistiller to shrink AI models down so they actually fit on local laptops. We're using decentralized networks like BitTensor to crowdsource and pool consumer graphics cards from all over the globe. And incredibly, organizations like the World Economic Forum are looking at completely off-grid compute. They're dropping data centers into subsea cooling pods in the ocean, and even proposing orbital satellite swarms functioning as massive data centers in space, cooled by the vacuum and linked together by lasers. It's wild. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative thought to ponder. We are rapidly building a third planetary cocoon. It's an invisible neural network of 100 billion agents trading information in real time. When agentic intelligence becomes a cheap, unlimited commodity that completely surrounds the globe, what becomes your most valuable asset? Is it your judgment? Is it your unique personal human data stored in your vault? Your physical world connections? Well, it's something you need to decide, and quickly, as you plug into an economy that never sleeps.